Do you know that the right message can completely change how someone feels about you? Imagine saying something so captivating that they can't stop thinking about you. Whether you're rekindling a spark, deepening a bond, or making someone notice you for the first time, this video is your ultimate guide. Stick around, because I'm revealing 12 powerful relationship messages they cannot resist. These are designed to grab their attention, touch their heart, and ensure you're never ignored again. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll have the tools to transform your communication and leave an unforgettable impression. Let's get started. Number 1, you make me want to be a better version of myself. Here's the thing, when someone tells you, you make me want to be a better version of myself, it's like hitting the emotional jackpot. It's not just a compliment, it's a whole vibe, a heart-to-heart statement that says, you inspire me to level up in ways I didn't even know I needed. It's about showing someone that their presence in your life isn't just enjoyable, it's transformational. Why does this message hit so hard? Because deep down, we all crave to be seen and valued, right? And when someone connects with you in a way that makes you want to do more, be more, and strive for greatness, it's magnetic. It's almost like their belief in you sparks something inside, a hidden drive that makes you want to unlock parts of yourself you've been holding back. Now, here's where it gets interesting. This isn't about changing who you are or morphing into someone else to gain approval. No, it's about growth. It's about tapping into the best version of you, the version that's been sitting quietly in the background, waiting for the right kind of encouragement to take center stage. This person, the one who sparks this drive in you, becomes like a mirror, but not the kind that shows flaws or imperfections. They're the mirror that reflects your potential, your power, your unrealized dreams. Let's break it down a little more. When you send someone a message like this, you're not just saying, I like you or you're fun to be around. You're saying, your energy pushes me to think bigger and dream harder. It's almost like telling them, you're the fuel to my fire. And who doesn't want to feel like they're that important to someone? It makes them see themselves differently too. This kind of message is also layered with vulnerability. When you tell someone they make you want to improve, you're admitting two things. 1, that you're not perfect, because who is? And 2, that you see them as someone worth growing for. That's deep. Vulnerability like that creates connection, and connection is the glue that holds any meaningful relationship together. But let's be real. A message like this isn't something you throw around casually. It's got weight. It's not a cheesy pickup line or a surface-level compliment. It's a confession that says, you matter. You're important. You're a game changer in my world. And because of that, it makes the recipient feel irreplaceable. Here's the kicker, though, this isn't just about romance. Sure, it works wonders in a romantic relationship, but this kind of sentiment can strengthen friendships, too. Imagine a friend hearing this from you. How would it feel to know they inspire you to chase your dreams or be kinder, more patient, or more driven? It's powerful stuff. So, when you write, you make me want to be a better version of myself, don't let it stop at words. Let it mean something. Back it up with actions. If they make you want to be better, be better. Show them you're serious about it, whether it's by following through on a promise, working on a bad habit, or pursuing a goal that's been gathering dust. In the end, messages like this stand out because they're more than just text on a screen. They carry emotion, intention, and a little bit of magic. And if you deliver it authentically, they won't just read it, they'll feel it. And when someone feels something that real, it's impossible to ignore. Number 2, just hearing your voice instantly puts me in a good mood. There's something so magical about certain voices, isn't there? It's like they carry this unique energy that can change the entire vibe of your day. Telling someone that their voice alone lifts your spirits isn't just sweet, it's deeply personal and creates a connection that's hard to forget. Think about it. How often do we actually take the time to tell someone how much their voice means to us? It's such a simple thing, but it can be insanely powerful. When you say, "Just hearing your voice instantly puts me in a good mood," you're not just complimenting them, you're letting them know they have this rare ability to affect your emotions in the best way possible. That kind of statement is like a direct line to someone's heart. It says, "You're special to me in a way that's beyond the surface." And let's be real, it feels amazing to hear that. Think about how this could play out in your relationships. Maybe they're having a rough day, and out of nowhere, you tell them this. Instantly, it's like the weight of the world gets a little lighter. You've just given them something priceless, the knowledge that their existence makes someone else genuinely happy. That's not something people hear every day, and when they do, it sticks. What makes this message even better is how versatile it is. You don't have to save it for some grand romantic moment. It works just as well in casual, everyday conversations. Maybe you're on the phone, and their voice has this calming or uplifting effect. Saying it in that moment feels spontaneous, which makes it even more authentic. Or maybe you send it as a text out of the blue, letting them know that even when they're not physically there, their presence is felt. And here's the thing, when you say something like this, it's not just about them. It's about the connection the two of you share. Their voice resonates with you because of the bond you've built together. It's this unspoken way of saying, "You matter to me, and I value what we have." That's the kind of sentiment that can deepen a relationship and make someone feel truly seen. But let's not overlook the subtle nuances of how you say it. Tone matters. If you say it with a smile or in a playful way, it can feel lighthearted and fun. If you're more serious or thoughtful, it can come across as deeply heartfelt. Either way, the impact is undeniable. It's all about tailoring the moment to fit the vibe of your relationship. Now, let's talk about why this works on such a psychological level. People crave validation, not the shallow, surface-level kind, but the deep-down feeling of being valued for who they are. A compliment like this goes straight to the core. It's not about their looks or something they've done, it's about who they are. Their voice, something they don't even think about most of the time, has this incredible power over you. That's intimate. That's meaningful. And don't underestimate the ripple effect. When someone knows they have this kind of impact on you, it makes them feel more connected, more confident, and more eager to be around you. It creates this positive feedback loop where you both feel good just being in each other's presence. So, next time you're talking to someone you care about, don't hold back. Drop this line and mean it. You might be surprised at how much it brightens their day, and yours, too. A little vulnerability goes a long way, and letting someone know how much their voice lifts you up is about as genuine as it gets. Number 3, you have this way of making everything feel right, even on bad days. There's just something about you. You have this incredible way of making everything feel right, even when the day feels like it's falling apart. Seriously, how do you do that? It's not just about being there, it's about how you're there. Like, your energy, your vibe, it just brings this calming, reassuring presence that makes the chaos around me feel like it's not as big or scary as it seems. It's almost like you're some sort of emotional compass, guiding me back to a place where I feel safe and grounded. And the crazy part? You probably don't even realize you're doing it. That's the magic of it. You're not trying too hard, you're not putting on a show. It's just you being you. And that's what makes it so real. You know how some people say, "It's going to be okay," and it feels kind of empty? Like, yeah, thanks for saying that, but how? With you, it's different. When those words come from you, they hit differently. It's like they come with a kind of unshakable belief that they will actually be okay. And even if I can't see it in the moment, I start to believe it because you believe it. That's powerful. But let's talk about those bad days for a second. You know the ones, when everything feels off, and the weight of the world just won't let up. On those days, people tend to withdraw, right? You could easily pull back, avoid the mess, or say, hey, deal with it yourself. But you don't. Instead, you lean in. And not in some dramatic, over-the-top way. No, you lean in quietly, gently, like a steady hand on my shoulder that says, I've got you. It's in the small things too. The way you listen without interrupting, even when my words are all over the place. The way you somehow know whether I need advice or just silence. And oh, the way you can crack a joke, one of those perfectly timed, light-hearted ones that somehow breaks through the heaviness and reminds me, even for a second, that it's not all bad. That life still has room for laughter, even in the middle of a storm. And you know what else? You don't sugarcoat things. That's part of why this works. You're not the type to just say, oh, everything's fine, when it's clearly not. You acknowledge the hard stuff, and then you remind me, without words sometimes, that hard stuff isn't permanent. It's like you bring this sense of perspective that I just can't find on my own in the middle of the mess. Honestly, it's not just about what you do, it's about what you don't do. You don't judge. You don't make me feel like a burden. You don't brush off my feelings like they're nothing. Instead, you create this space where I feel seen and understood, even when I'm at my worst. And let me tell you, that's rare. It's not something everyone knows how to do, and the fact that you can? That's special. So yeah, even on those days when the clouds are heavy and the sun feels like it's never going to show up again, you're like this warm light cutting through the darkness. And the best part? You don't just make everything feel right, you make me feel like I can handle it. Like I can face whatever's coming, not because it's easy, but because I'm not doing it alone. That's a gift, you know? Not everyone has that kind of presence, that ability to turn bad days into something manageable, something survivable. You do. And it doesn't go unnoticed. Not for a second. Number 4, I feel so lucky to have you in my life. Let's be honest, when you tell someone, I feel so lucky to have you in my life, you're not just throwing words around. You're saying something that's going to linger in their mind long after they've read it. It's not just a statement, it's a vibe, a mood, a full-on heart confession. And honestly, it's one of those things that hits differently because it's all about appreciation, pure, simple, and real. Here's why it works like magic. Everyone, no matter how confident or self-assured, loves to feel valued. And when you drop a message like this, it's not just about flattery. It's about making the other person feel seen and cherished in a way that feels deeply personal. It's like saying, hey, I don't just care about you, I realize how much better my life is because you're in it. Think about it. Life is chaotic, messy, and sometimes just plain overwhelming. But when someone makes you feel like a piece of their puzzle that they didn't even know they were missing, that's powerful. That's rare. When you tell someone how lucky you feel to have them in your world, you're not just acknowledging their presence, you're highlighting their impact. And the beauty of this message? It's versatile. It doesn't scream romance unless you want it to. It can be sweetly platonic, deeply romantic, or even a mix of both. It's like a universal hug in word form, one that says, you matter to me in ways I probably don't even express enough. Now, let's switch gears and dive into what makes this kind of message unforgettable. It's the feeling behind it. Saying you feel lucky isn't just about saying thank you. It's about gratitude on steroids. It's about recognizing that, out of all the people in the world, this one person has a special place in your life that no one else can fill. And that kind of recognition? It's rare. It makes people pause. It makes them feel irreplaceable. But here's the trick, don't just toss it out there like a generic line. Add some depth, some color, some soul to it. Instead of just saying, I feel lucky to have you, consider following it up with why. Let them know what it is about them that makes your life brighter. Maybe it's the way they always seem to know what to say when you're feeling down. Or how they inspire you to look at the world through a different lens. Or maybe it's simply their presence, the fact that they're there, steady and solid, even when life gets messy. This kind of message also has a way of making someone reflect on their own value, which is a gift in itself. Think about it. When you tell someone they make your life better, you're reminding them that they have a unique energy, a certain magic that only they can bring. And in a world where people often question their worth, hearing something like this is nothing short of transformative. And the best part? A message like this doesn't have an expiration date. You can send it out of the blue, during a quiet moment, or after something big happens. It works in any situation because it's timeless. It's not tied to an occasion, it's tied to a feeling. So, when you craft this kind of message, make sure it feels genuine. Don't rush it. Take a moment to think about the person you're writing to and why you feel lucky to have them in your life. And when you send it, know that you're doing more than just sending words. You're creating a moment, a connection that sticks, that resonates, that makes them feel special. And honestly, who wouldn't want to feel that way? Number 5. I feel like the luckiest person when I'm around you. Let's be honest, when someone tells you, I feel like the luckiest person when I'm around you, it's not just a compliment. It's a full-on emotional knockout. It hits different because it's not about some surface-level quality. It's a statement that says, you make my world better just by being in it. And who doesn't want to hear that? Think about it. Luck is such a loaded word. It's tied to serendipity, chance, and those rare moments when everything just clicks. So, when you tell someone they make you feel lucky, you're saying they're not just special. They're a once-in-a-lifetime kind of special. You're letting them know that out of everyone in the world, they stand out in a way that feels almost magical. This message carries weight because it's not about material things or grand gestures. It's about the everyday moments you share. It's about how they make you laugh without trying, how their presence feels like home, or how just being near them makes everything feel a little brighter. When you say this, you're drawing attention to those subtle, beautiful things that often go unnoticed. And that's why it sticks. But let's not sugarcoat it, saying something like this isn't just a random throwaway line. It's a vulnerability flex. You're opening up and letting them see how much they mean to you. That can feel a little scary, right? But it's also what makes the message so powerful. It's raw. It's real. It's not about impressing them, it's about showing them how deeply they've impacted your life. When you drop this line, the timing and delivery matter. Maybe you say it during a quiet moment when it's just the two of you. Or maybe you text it out of nowhere to catch them off guard, in the best way possible. The beauty of this message is that it doesn't need a big setup or a perfect moment. It works because it comes from a genuine place. And don't underestimate how this makes the other person feel. You're giving them a window into your emotions, showing them that they matter in a way that's unique to you. That kind of affirmation is rare, and it's unforgettable. It creates this unspoken bond, a shared understanding that you're both lucky to have found each other. What makes this message even more irresistible is how it flips the script. Instead of focusing on what they do for you or what they bring to the table, you're shining a light on the simple fact that their existence makes you feel fortunate. That's not just flattering, it's deeply affirming. It tells them they're enough just as they are, no extra effort required. And let's be real, everyone wants to feel like they're someone's lucky charm. It taps into this universal desire to be valued, to know that just by being ourselves, we can make someone else's life a little better. When you express that, you're not just making their day, you're leaving a lasting impression. So, the next time you're with someone who makes your heart feel full, don't hold back. Tell them. Say it straight out. I feel like the luckiest person when I'm around you. Watch their face light up. feel the connection between you deepen. It's one of those simple, beautiful truths that can transform a moment, and maybe even a relationship. Sometimes, it's not about finding the perfect words. It's about speaking from the heart. And when you do that, magic happens. Number 6, I've never felt this comfortable being myself around anyone else. There's this feeling I get around you that I can't quite put into words, but I'll try. It's like I can finally let out a breath I didn't even realize I'd been holding. You know that weight you carry when you're always trying to say the right thing, act the right way, fit into some invisible mold that the world expects? With you, all of that just vanishes. It's not even something I think about anymore. Around you, I'm just me, and that's enough. And let me tell you, that's not something I've felt before. It's rare, like finding a hidden gem when you weren't even looking for treasure. You have this way of creating a space where being real, messy, imperfect, and sometimes all over the place, feels not just okay but welcomed. It's not about performing or pretending. It's about showing up exactly as I am, no filters, no masks. And the wild part? You don't just accept it, you seem to love it. How is that even possible? When I'm with you, I don't feel like I have to measure up to some imaginary standard. You know what I mean, right? That constant pressure to be better, smarter, funnier, or whatever version of perfect people expect. With you, I can stumble over my words, laugh at my own dumb jokes, or even sit in total silence without it feeling awkward. And that's freeing. It's like you've unlocked this part of me that's been waiting to come out, but never felt safe enough to do so. But it's more than just comfort, it's about trust. I trust you in a way that makes vulnerability feel less terrifying. You don't judge me when I open up about the things I usually keep hidden, those thoughts or quirks that might make someone else raise an eyebrow. You listen, and not just to respond, but to understand. That's rare. You make me feel like the raw, unpolished version of me is not only acceptable but cherished. And you know what else? It's not just the big stuff, it's the little things too. Like how I don't feel the need to second-guess myself around you. You know that annoying voice in your head that questions everything you say or do? Yeah, that voice is quiet when I'm with you. I can let my guard down, speak my mind, and even make mistakes without feeling like I'm walking on eggshells. That's huge. There's also this insane sense of relief in knowing I don't have to be on all the time. You know what I mean? Life is exhausting when you're constantly performing for people, trying to be the version of yourself that you think they want. But with you, there's no performance. I don't have to be the fun one, the strong one, or whatever other role people expect me to play. I can just be, and somehow that's more than enough for you. And here's the thing, it's not just about how you see me. It's about how you make me see myself. When I'm with you, I like who I am. Scratch that, I love who I am. You reflect this version of me that feels so authentic, so true, that I can't help but embrace it. It's like you've helped me find a part of myself I didn't even know I was missing. And that's not just comforting, it's life-changing. So yeah, when I say I've never felt this comfortable being myself around anyone else, I mean it with everything in me. You've given me a gift that's hard to put into words. It's not just comfort, it's a kind of belonging. A feeling that, for once, I don't have to try so hard. With you, I'm not just accepted, I'm celebrated. And honestly, that's the most irresistible feeling in the world. Number 7, you're the reason I believe in serendipity. There's something about the word serendipity that just feels magical, right? It's not about planning, chasing, or forcing things to happen. It's about life surprising you in the best possible way, about moments that feel almost too perfect to be random. And when you tell someone, you're the reason I believe in serendipity, you're not just saying they're special. You're telling them they're the kind of person who makes life feel like it's sprinkled with a little extra stardust. Here's why this message works like a charm. It's more than a compliment. It's a whole mood. It's like saying, I wasn't even looking, but somehow, you showed up, and now I can't imagine my world without you. That kind of sentiment hits deep because it's not about what you've done or what they've done. It's about what the universe, fate, or whatever you believe in decided to put into motion. The thing is, people love the idea of destiny. Even the most logical, no-nonsense person has a soft spot for those moments that feel too perfect to be coincidences. When you tell someone they've made you believe in serendipity, you're telling them they're more than just another person in your life. They're the person. They're the unexpected twist in your story that changed everything in ways you didn't even know were possible. And let's be real, there's something wildly romantic about the idea that they were meant to be there. It's like saying, the moment our paths crossed, everything started making sense in a way it never did before. But it's not just about romance. It's also about connection, about the kind of bond that feels so natural, so effortless, that you can't help but wonder if something bigger is at play. This message also carries an undercurrent of gratitude, though it doesn't scream it outright. When you say someone makes you believe in serendipity, you're quietly thanking them for being exactly who they are, exactly when you needed them, even if you didn't know you needed them. It's like saying, I didn't see this coming, but now that it's here, I wouldn't trade it for anything. But here's where you can really make it shine. Don't stop at the words. Add your own twist. Instead of just saying, you're the reason I believe in serendipity, take it further. Maybe it's their smile that lights up your worst days, or the way their laugh feels like a song you didn't know you needed to hear. Maybe it's how they just get you, without you ever having to explain yourself. Whatever it is, paint the picture. Make it personal. And the beauty of this? It's not about grand gestures or elaborate words. It's about feeling. It's about making them pause and think, wow, I mean that much to someone? Because let's face it, we all want to feel like we're a little bit extraordinary to someone. This kind of message isn't something they'll forget. It's not a text they'll skim and move on from. It's the kind of thing they'll read twice, maybe 3 times, because it's packed with so much more than just words. It's filled with meaning, with emotion, with something that feels bigger than both of you. So, when you send this, don't be afraid to let your emotions show. Be real. Be raw. Let them feel how much their presence has shifted your world. Because when someone makes you believe in serendipity, they're not just another chapter in your story. They're the plot twist you didn't see coming, and the one you'll never stop being grateful for. Number 8, you're my favorite person to talk to, no matter what. Think about the weight of those words for a second. You're my favorite person to talk to. Not just someone I enjoy chatting with, not someone I go to when I'm bored, my favorite. It's the kind of compliment that goes deeper than surface-level admiration. It's saying, you're my go-to. You're the one I want to share my thoughts, my feelings, my everything with. That's huge. What makes this message so irresistible is how personal it feels. It's not about looks, achievements, or even shared experiences. It's about connection. When you tell someone they're your favorite person to talk to, you're acknowledging how their presence makes your world better. And not just better, easier, lighter, more meaningful. It's like saying, of all the people I could talk to, you're the one who really gets me. And let's be real. Life throws all kinds of stuff at us, good, bad, and everything in between. There's nothing like having that one person you can turn to no matter what. Whether it's a random thought, a deep fear, or just a silly joke that popped into your head, they're the person you know will actually listen. And when you tell them this, you're giving them a front row seat to your life, showing them they're the MVP of your inner world. The magic here lies in its simplicity. You're my favorite person to talk to isn't some overly polished line. It's raw, unfiltered, and completely from the heart. That's why it lands so well. It's not trying to impress, it's just the truth. People can sense when you're being genuine, and this kind of statement radiates authenticity. But what makes this message truly stick is the no matter what part. That's where the game changes. It's not just about talking when things are fun or easy. It's about being there when things get messy, confusing, or downright tough. You're telling them, I don't just love talking to you when the sun's shining, I love talking to you when it's pouring rain, too. That level of loyalty and emotional availability is rare, and when you express it, it hits deep. Let's talk about how this works in practice. Maybe you drop this line during a quiet moment, like when you're just sitting together, enjoying each other's company. Or maybe you text it out of nowhere to remind them how much they mean to you. Either way, the impact is the same. They'll feel seen, valued, and irreplaceable. And honestly, who doesn't want to feel that way? The beauty of this message is its versatility. It works for romantic relationships, friendships, even family bonds. It's not about what the other person does or says, it's about who they are and how they make you feel. You're not just saying, I like talking to you. You're saying, you're the best at making me feel understood, supported, and heard. That's powerful. Here's another thing. When you tell someone they're your favorite person to talk to, it opens the door for deeper connection. It makes them feel safe to share their thoughts, too. It's like a subtle way of saying, I trust you with my words and my feelings, and I hope you trust me with yours. That kind of openness can transform a relationship from good to extraordinary. So, don't hold back. Tell them. Say it when they least expect it, when it's just an ordinary day and you're having an ordinary conversation. Because that's the beauty of this message, it thrives in the everyday moments, turning the mundane into something meaningful. At the end of the day, we all want to feel like we're someone's favorite. And when you tell someone they're your favorite person to talk to, you're giving them that gift. A gift of love, connection, and unshakable trust. And trust me, they'll never forget it. Number 9, I've never felt this comfortable being myself around anyone else. You know what's crazy? Being with you feels like coming home, like finding a place where I can finally just be. And I mean really be. No overthinking. No second guessing. No wondering if I'm saying the right thing or acting the right way. It's like all the walls I didn't even realize I'd built come crashing down the moment I'm around you. That's not something I've ever experienced before, and honestly, it's kind of magical. I think what makes it so special is how effortless it feels. I don't have to try. I don't have to perform. There's no need to impress you with some version of myself that doesn't even feel real. I'm not on stage, hoping for applause or validation. I'm just me, flaws and all, and somehow, that's enough. No, scratch that, it's more than enough for you. And that's such a rare thing. It's wild how being myself with you doesn't feel risky. You know how it is with most people, there's always that tiny voice in the back of your mind whispering, what if they don't get it? What if they think I'm weird? What if they walk away? But with you, that voice is silent. Completely gone. It's like my soul knows yours won't judge, won't criticize, won't hold me to some impossible standard. You make me feel safe in a way I didn't even know I needed. And it's not just about safety, it's about freedom. Freedom to laugh too loud, to mess up, to say the wrong thing and know it's not the end of the world. Freedom to share the parts of myself I usually keep hidden, the goofy, awkward, slightly overthinking parts, and not feel like I have to apologize for them. That freedom? It's priceless. You know what else? You don't just tolerate the real me, you love it. That's the thing that gets me every time. It's like you see all the bits and pieces of who I am, the shiny parts and the not so shiny parts, and you just embrace it all. No hesitation. No hesitation. And because of that, I feel more like myself than I ever have before. It's like you've unlocked this side of me that's been waiting in the wings, waiting for someone to say, hey, it's okay to step into the spotlight just as you are. It's funny because people talk about comfort like it's this small, quiet thing. But the kind of comfort I feel with you? It's huge. It's life-changing. It's not just sitting on a couch in sweatpants kind of comfort, though, let's be real, that's great too. It's more like a deep exhale after holding your breath for way too long. It's the relief of knowing I don't have to carry the weight of expectations anymore because, with you, there aren't any. Just acceptance. Just love. Just realness. And let's not forget the trust. Because that's where it all starts, right? You've created this space where I can let my guard down, where vulnerability isn't a risk, it's a connection. And in that connection, I've found a version of myself I really, truly like. Maybe even love. That's the gift you've given me, without even trying. So when I say I've never felt this comfortable being myself around anyone else, I mean it with every fiber of my being. It's not just a compliment, it's the truth. You've made me feel seen, heard, and understood in a way that's completely unforgettable. And that's something no one can resist. Number 10, you've added colors to my life I didn't even know existed. When you tell someone, you've added colors to my life I didn't even know existed, you're not just complimenting them, you're painting a picture. It's not about the surface level your great kind of message. This is deeper. It's like saying, you've taken the grayscale parts of my world and turned them into something vibrant, alive, and completely new. And honestly, who wouldn't want to hear that? This line works because it's not just about appreciation, it's about transformation. It's about acknowledging that this person has changed the way you see the world. They didn't just walk into your life, they brought an entire palette of emotions, experiences, and perspectives you didn't even realize you were missing. It's the ultimate way of saying, you've made everything feel more alive, more beautiful, more everything. But let's break this down. Life can feel monotonous sometimes, like you're just going through the motions, stuck in the same rhythm. Then someone comes along, and suddenly, things you never noticed before stand out. You start seeing beauty in the ordinary, magic in the mundane. It's like they flipped a switch and flooded your world with light and color. It's not just that they're special, it's that they make everything else feel special too. And here's the thing, this message doesn't just land, it lingers. It makes the other person feel like they're not just a part of your life, but the spark that makes it better. It's a way of saying, you're not just someone I care about, you're someone who's completely changed my perspective. That kind of sentiment is unforgettable. What makes this message so powerful is the imagery. Think about it, colors you didn't even know existed. That's saying their impact is beyond what words can fully capture. It's like you're trying to describe a feeling so profound that it can only be compared to discovering an entirely new spectrum of light. That's next level meaningful. But don't stop at the surface. If you're going to use this message, make it personal. Follow it up with the why. Is it the way they make you laugh when you didn't even think you could? Is it their ability to turn an ordinary day into something extraordinary just by being there? Maybe it's how they bring out a side of you that you didn't even know existed, a side that's braver, kinder, more alive. Whatever it is, let them know. The more specific you get, the more impactful the message becomes. Another reason this hits so hard is because it's not something you say lightly. You're not just throwing out compliments for the sake of it. You're telling them they've fundamentally changed the way you experience life. That's huge. That's unforgettable. And the best part? It's the kind of message that works in so many different types of relationships. It doesn't have to be romantic. It could be a best friend, a mentor, anyone who's shifted your perspective and made your world richer. The beauty of this message is also in its timelessness. You can send it anytime, after a deep conversation, a shared moment, or even just out of the blue. The element of surprise makes it even more powerful because they're not expecting it. Imagine them reading those words and feeling like they've brought something irreplaceable into your life. That's how you create a connection that sticks. So when you tell someone, "You've added colors to my life I didn't even know existed," don't just let it be words on a screen. Let it mean something. Let it reflect the way they've shifted your world, even in the smallest ways. Because when someone makes you see life differently, they deserve to know just how much they matter. Number 11, I'd choose you in every lifetime, without hesitation. There's something about this statement that stops you in your tracks, right? I'd choose you in every lifetime. It's not just romantic, it's poetic, almost otherworldly. It's a way of saying, out of all the possibilities, all the what-ifs, all the people I could have met, you'd still be the one. And the best part? There's zero hesitation in it. It's like declaring, "You're not just my choice now, you'd be my choice forever and always." This kind of message hits different because it's not tied to the here and now. It's not about what's happening in this moment or even this lifetime. It's about something much bigger, this deep, soul-level connection that feels like it could transcend time itself. By saying this, you're telling someone, "You're not just important to me, you're essential." Think about the emotional punch this message carries. It's not just flattery or a passing compliment. It's rooted in something deeper. When you tell someone you'd choose them in every lifetime, you're not just expressing love, you're affirming that they are your person. No doubts. No second guesses. That's a powerful thing to hear, and it sticks. But what makes this line so irresistible isn't just the sentiment behind it, it's the way it creates a sense of permanence. Life can be messy and unpredictable, and relationships come with their fair share of challenges. But when you tell someone, "I'd choose you, no matter what," you're cutting through all that noise. You're saying, "I see you, flaws and all, and you're still my choice, always." That kind of reassurance is rare, and it's unforgettable. Now, let's get into how this could land in a conversation. Maybe you're having one of those quiet, intimate moments where everything feels right. Or maybe you say it out of nowhere, catching them completely off guard. Either way, it feels raw and real because it's not something people hear every day. It's a statement that makes them pause, take it in, and realize how much they mean to you. And the beauty of this message? It's not just about love in the traditional sense. It's about admiration, respect, and a deep appreciation for who they are. You're telling them that, in any scenario, in any version of reality, they'd be your choice. You're saying, "You're the kind of person I'd always want to find, no matter where or when." That kind of sentiment hits straight to the heart. This message also taps into something almost spiritual. The idea of lifetimes, of existing in different versions of reality, gives it this timeless quality. It's not just about saying, "I love you." It's about saying, "You're a part of me. You're my forever." That's why it resonates so deeply. It feels bigger than the moment, bigger than words. But don't underestimate the subtle power of how you say it. The delivery can make all the difference. Maybe you whisper it during a meaningful moment, or you write it down in a note they'll find later. However you choose to share it, the impact will be the same. They'll feel cherished, irreplaceable, and deeply loved. At its core, this message is about connection. It's about telling someone, "I see you for everything you are, and I wouldn't want anyone else." That kind of validation is rare. It's the kind of thing people carry with them for a long time because it's not just about how you feel, it's about who they are to you. So, don't hold back. Say it. Write it. Shout it if you feel like it. Let them know they're not just your choice now, they're your choice in every lifetime. Because when you express something that powerful, it doesn't just make their day, it changes everything. Number 12, something about you just feels like home to me. You ever meet someone and feel this weird, unshakable sense of familiarity? Like, how do you already feel like a part of me when I've only just met you? That's what it's like with you. Something about you just feels like home, but not in the way people throw the word around. No, it's deeper than that. It's not about a place or a thing, it's a feeling, a connection, like my soul recognizes yours. It's hard to explain, but it's like being wrapped in the softest, warmest blanket after a long, cold day. Like, no matter what kind of chaos the world throws at me, when I'm with you, all of it fades into the background. You're not just comfort, you're my calm in the storm. And it's not just the big, obvious stuff. It's in the little things too. The way you listen. The way your energy matches mine without me having to say a word. It's the unspoken stuff that makes it feel so real, so right. And you know what? It's not even about perfection. You don't have to do anything grand to make me feel this way. It's just you. The way you look at me like I matter. The way you're present, fully there, in a way that makes me forget about all the noise in my head. It's like you've carved out this space where I can just exist, no pressure, no expectations. That's rare, you know? And I don't take it lightly. What's wild is how natural it all feels. There's no awkwardness, no what do I say, or how do I act. It's like my guard just melts away when I'm around you. You don't even have to ask me to let it down, it just happens. And that's huge for me. You make vulnerability feel easy. Almost effortless. It's like I don't have to try with you. I can just be. And let's be real, how often does that happen? Not often enough, I'll tell you that much. It's not just about comfort, though. It's about belonging. That's what makes it feel like home. It's this unspoken reassurance that no matter what I bring to the table, good, bad, or somewhere in between, you're still there. And you're not just there in the passive sense. You're fully present, fully engaged, making me feel like this is exactly where I'm supposed to be. That kind of connection? It's priceless. Sometimes, I think about how much weight we all carry every day. The stress, the expectations, the endless juggling of life's responsibilities, it's a lot. But with you, it's like someone finally says, hey, you can put that down for a while. You give me permission to breathe, to exhale, to let go. And that's what home should feel like, right? A place where the world's heaviness doesn't touch you, where you can just be yourself without fear or judgment. And the trust, don't even get me started on that. That's the foundation of it all. Because home isn't just about comfort, it's about knowing you're safe. And you give me that safety in spades. It's not just what you say, but how you say it. How you show up consistently, without me having to ask. How you somehow know what I need without me spelling it out. It's like you just get it. You get me. So yeah, when I say something about you feels like home, I mean it in every possible way. It's not just a line, it's the truth. You're my anchor, my safe place, my reminder that even in the chaos of life, there's still this incredible feeling of peace waiting for me when I'm with you. And that's something I'll never take for granted. Thanks for watching. If you found these 12 irresistible messages helpful, make sure to hit that like button and share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Don't forget to subscribe for more tips and tricks to level up your communication game. And hey, what's your favorite message or strategy from this video? Let me know in the comments below, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Until next time, stay confident, stay authentic, and remember, the right words can change everything. See you in the next one.